So I'm about to head out soon to get my Yoshi's Woolly World pre-order. It does come out today in the US. This is October 16th, 2015, Friday. So before I go out and grab that, I wanted to put up this video. I guess you can call this a game for thought. The title is going to be, is Fatal Frame being digital only really a big deal? Or something like that. And that's pretty much the question. A lot of people have been complaining lately that in North America it's digital only. Because in Japan they got a physical release a while back. Europe's getting a physical release with a nice looking special edition. And in North America it's digital only. Comes out October 22nd, this Thursday. $50 on the eShop. And I believe it's like 15 gigs of space. So the question remains, is it such a big deal? Well, it really depends how you look at it. Me personally, I'm very disappointed there's no physical release. I will fully admit that. I prefer my stuff physical. If there's a physical release for a game, I do get it. Now, does that mean I'm one of those people who completely disregards digital content altogether? No. I love digital content. The way gaming's going, you kind of have to do both to have like to experience everything. There's a lot of good content that's digital only. I download a lot of stuff from the eShop as well as a lot of stuff from the PlayStation Store. For being a Nintendo and Sony fan, there's just a lot of content between both on the physical side and on the digital side. My 3DS is loaded with games. So was my Wii U, so was my PS3, so was my PS Vita, and my PS4, which I just recently got, is getting there as well. So does that mean that I'm going to rule out Fatal Frame because it's digital? No. Now, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's not physical. I'm not buying it." Well, that you gotta think of something. Okay, Nintendo America. Well, yes, it's a really stupid decision for them not to make a physical release. I mean, there's ways they could do it. I mean, it's obvious they're testing the waters because Fatal Frame is not that big a series. It's also sort of a horror, which is a very niche genre. It's one of the nichiest game genres out there. Actually, does not sell a lot. Nintendo's a business. They have to look at it from a business standpoint. What decisions of ours are going to give us a profitable gain as opposed to a profitable loss? So it's just something you have to keep in mind. Nintendo of Europe always tends to go above and beyond these days. I suppose Nintendo of America. I've already explained before my problems with Nintendo of America compared to that. But I can sort of see where they're coming from. They're testing the waters for it. But like I said, with the physical release, they could have at least done either a first print run, limited run, or maybe a like GameStop exclusive. They could have did something like that, but they didn't. So we're left with eShop only. So, do you guys want more games like this? I do. I mean, I'll be honest here. Did anyone buy this? This is a little game called Spirit Camera, The Cursed Memoir, for the 3DS. This came out back in 2012, I believe. Little known game. It's actually a spin-off of the Fatal Frame series, and people hated it and disregarded it when it came out. And yeah, because you can find this game for like $5-10 on like Amazon and stuff these days, I believe. So I bought it. Really good game. I beat it all in one sitting because it's not that long of a game, but it's about the experience. Just like I'm pretty sure Fatal Frame will be about the experience. But it's just one of those things that I bought that. How many others did? Because I like content like that. When a game like this, which is a spin-off, but it still does the same basic stuff. It's not like a spin-off where the gameplay is completely different. No, it's a spin-off where it's a spin-off story-wise, but the gameplay is mostly just like the other Fatal Frame games. Obviously more tuned to a handheld and to the 3DS's features, but my point is, when Nintendo sees that this did not do well in America, why the hell would they do a physical release for Fatal Frame? So it's obvious they're testing the waters because they've seen the fan outcry. They want more games like that, but they're not sure after games like this underperformed. So like I said, something you gotta take into account. As far as space, another thing I've seen, I can go into the whole thing about space. I will admit the Wii U should have had more space from the get-go. 32 gigs is not enough as far as gaming content like this. But at the same time, see a lot of people say, oh, well, it should have had 500 gigabytes like the PS4 and Xbox One. Well, the problem with the PS4 and Xbox One is the fact that while they may do 500 gigabytes, they mandatory install your games. So 500 gigabytes does not go a long way when it does that. Just like Nintendo with the Wii U, 32 gigabytes does not go a long way. So whether you have 10 or 20 retail games on the PS4, Xbox One, or 10 or 20 virtual console or eShop games on the Wii U, it's the same damn thing. Your space is going to run out because one system decides not to do a huge hard drive, the other two decide, oh, we're going to make you mandatory install. It's like, whatever way, it all balances out, and it's a bullshit practice that I feel like all three companies across the board should have had 500 gigabyte hard drives from the start with no mandatory installs. That's how it should have been. But it's not a perfect world. Can't always get what we want. However, you know what this is? It's a 32 gigabyte flash drive by Toshiba. You can find these 32 gigabyte flash drives, not necessarily by Toshiba, but you can find these in stores for like 10, 15, 20 bucks. They're very cheap nowadays. Buying one of these, putting it on your Wii U, easily download Fatal Frame. Now, granted, Nintendo doesn't recommend using flash drives because there's only so many times you can read and write to them. But for one game, like if you just want Fatal Frame, like I said, it's cost you 15 bucks, pretty much. 1 terabyte hard drives go for 70, 80, maybe even cheaper if you find good deals. So, that's just my point, is that there's ways of getting around it. This is what I'll be using to play Fatal Frame until I get something more substantial. So, I cannot wait for the game. And while I'm sad that it does not have a physical release, I'm glad we're getting the game in general, because the way the game plays and how fun it is does not matter whether it's on a disc or whether it's on my hard drive, flash memory, whatever. It's the game itself that counts, as long as we're getting the game. You know what I mean? And I'm glad we're getting the game. I've always been interested in the series, so it'd be besides this and besides some of the stuff I've seen from the older games, it'll be my first true Fatal Frame game, and I'm very, very excited to go through it. So, to conclude the question, Fatal Frame being digital only, is it a big deal? No, it is not. You guys agree or disagree? What are your guys' thoughts on this? Let me know, and I will catch you guys later.